Victory goes to the vulnerable. It's as simple as that. You know, back in school days, yeah, if you was that person that put your hand up even when you was kind of nervous, you was a little bit shy because you didn't want to put it up in case you got it wrong, but you did put it up and you still got it wrong. But after you got it wrong, you found out the answer, you know, you was victorious in that moment, you know? Even though it feels like you made a mistake, you made an error, the big thing is you found out the answer. You feel what I'm saying to you? And people don't see things like that. When you get things wrong or you make a mistake, boom, oftentimes you find out the answer. And you have to put yourself in a vulnerable situation or a vulnerable position to be able to experience that. So in order to grow in every area in life, yeah, I'm telling you, it requires a certain level of vulnerability, and people don't quite grasp that. Don't quite get that, you know. Be that person that puts your hands up and gets the answer wrong and finds out the answer after. So when somebody asks you that, what's the answer to this question? You know it because you made an error and now you know. Or you could have put your hand up and got it right, you know? Who knows? But at the same time, it's like having the courage to put your hand up when you're not sure, or put yourself in a situation that you're not sure whether you're going to get it right or not, and then come through on the other side knowing what you need to know. Perfection, again, is one of the things that blocks people from putting their hand up in the first place. Like, wanting to be perfect. If I get it wrong, that means I'm this or means I'm that, so they don't put it up. But in order to find out the answer, in order to know, yeah, you must put your hand up. And it's as simple as that, yeah. Vulnerability is where it comes down to, yeah. Don't stress, don't panic. All right, let's get into this further. What's going on? My name is Christopher Daniels, and today's message is straight up and simple. Victory goes to the vulnerable. Yeah, and that's the main thing that I've experienced throughout life, and that's what I know, and I know that it works, and I've seen it work multiple times. You feel what I'm saying to you? For me personally, being inside the mix, being inside things that are happening, being inside spaces where I can make errors, you know. For me, that was oftentimes quite scary, you know. Like, if I put my hand up and I get it wrong, then I'm gonna look like an idiot. I'm gonna look like a fool, you know. And that was very challenging. I remember being like, I did a lot of sports growing up, and I still do that, martial arts. And I remember like doing something, and like the coach when I was younger said, that's not good, or you made an error, you made a mistake, or you're not ready to level up or be this part of the team. And to me, that was so disheartening. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, at the same time, at that young age, I stopped. I remember I stopped playing basketball at a certain age, yeah. When, like, for a certain period of time, you know, because the coach said certain things and I couldn't quite manage with it. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't cope. Like, I think I was just a bit of a, like, I could say quitter. Like, the word might be quitter, but I kind of quit, you know. And the reason why I quit was because the coach didn't really believe in me. So I was just like, yo, leave this alone. Let's stop. And then I stopped, and then that was the end of it. And I remember being in that situation and just being so angry. Like, I was just so angry that the coach doesn't believe in me. Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't really understand it. You feel me? And to put myself in a situation where I was working constantly, doing all of that, and then still you don't believe in me, then I might as well give up. And then what I noticed, like, as an adult, I've been in a similar situation that was quite similar to that, and it went in a similar way, where the actions that I took were very different, you know. At that point, I felt vulnerable again, you know. I did feel vulnerable, and the reason why I've been working again, and this was in martial arts. I was doing martial arts for a number of years at this point. Oh no, a number of months at this point, and I was developing. I got in, and it was going quite well. However, there were bits and pieces where technically I wasn't the best. You know, like my form was off in certain places, and I knew that. And then the person at the time that was taking the classes, he mentioned to someone like, oh, you're constantly getting better, you're constantly improving, and he's mentioned it to a few other people, and I didn't get mine. Like, no one said nothing to me, so I was like, maybe I'm not improving, maybe I'm not developing, maybe I should just stop. And I remember feeling the same way that I felt the other time, like, you know, the feeling the exact same way that I felt as a youngster growing up. But this time, instead of stopping, I said, you know what, yeah, if I stay in this, I'm gonna develop. If I stay in this, I'm gonna improve, and that's exactly what I decided to do. Even though I felt the exact same emotions that I felt as a young man. And what I'm telling you now is, based on that decision and me staying in the game, I've developed so much from that point up until now, and I'm carrying on that journey. And like even all now, like he still says, yeah, you've improved so much. And what he said to them, that person or them people at that point, he said that to me later down the line. And my point is this, yeah, when it comes down to your development, it's not always going to be as fast as somebody else's, yeah. Your growth is different, your pace is different, your speed is gonna be totally different to somebody else's. But for you, you just need to stay in the game, and like your victory will come, you know, your wins will come, and that's what I learned from that. And it's not always about being instantly sharp or being perfect instantly. It's about taking time, and then once you do that, you'll be able to grow with it, and that's like the main thing, you know. So other than that, if you're not able to put yourself in a position where you can grow, then that growth's not going to happen. But once you do that and you do it constantly, then you'll see that you will develop it on levels that you won't even be able to fathom. And that's what it comes down to. Like, put yourself in situations where you can grow. Put yourself in situations where you do feel vulnerable, where you do feel like, this person's not really on my side, or this person's not really for me. But I'm telling you now, all it comes down is to that perseverance. You staying in the game, you believing in your abilities, you believing that you are capable, and things will happen, you know? Sometimes you gotta make yourself vulnerable. You are gonna get things wrong, you are gonna make mistakes, you are gonna make errors. But on the other side of those mistakes, other side of those errors, what is waiting for you? And that's the major question that you gotta ask yourself. And once you answer that question, you know, you may not even have the answers to that question, but I'll tell you, on the other side of that, something great is waiting for you if you're able to push through, yeah? So don't stress, don't panic, just keep pushing through, yeah? Blessings. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. And other than that, I will see you again shortly, yeah? Blessings. Boom. Bam.